Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Ridge Forrester refused to let Carter Walton win, but Brooke Logan advised that he was too emotional. Whatever Ridge was planning, Brooke argued that he couldn't let it helical out of control. Ridge claimed it was formerly out of control now that Carter had betrayed him along with Hope Logan. Although Ridge wanted to defy Carter, he said it would have to stay since he wanted to communicate an attorney first. Ridge also thanked Brooke for telling him what was going on, but he refused to hear to her attempts to justify Hope's conduct. Although Ridge wasn't sure whether Carter pulled Hope into the deep end or if she pulled him rather, he said it didn't matter and that he'd put an end to it. Ridge got Justin Barber to come over ASAP, so he handed over his dupe of the LLC paperwork and explained that Carter was trying to pull an achievement. After Ridge prompted Justin to look over the document, he told him to crush it since Carter couldn't get down with this. As Carter and Hope canoodled after passion, they continued to debate the preemption and made prognostications about what would be. Hope suggested they still had some time before they reached the point of no return since nothing new except for the two of them. Carter couldn't imagine how shocked and betrayed Ridge would be if they moved forward with taking control of Forrester Creations. In the design office, Electra Forrester told Ivy Forrester that although Remy Price was the sweetest Joe, running into an old friend from back home brought back a lot of painful, humiliating recollections. After Electra indicated to those awful filmland, she flashed back feeling so helpless, like everything was out of her control. Ivy had no way actually seen the snaps despite knowing about them, so Electra seized her phone and showed one of her clothed with an attractive expression. Also, Electra showed another and caused Ivy to let out a rustle, easily to indicate that it was a raw print. Electra swore that the images were deep fakes and AI generated. That was Electra's face, but it wasn't her body. Still, Electra felt judged by all the people who didn't know they were fakes and jumped at the chance to come work with Ivy in LA to escape the reproach. Electra began to worry that whoever made the post could decide to make further now that the press release was out there. It left Electra upset about bringing a reproach to the family, and she didn't know how she'd explain to Will Spencer if he saw the altered snaps. Ivy gave Electra a comforting clinch and assured her that they wouldn't let anything destroy her new life. After Ivy asked if Electra ever set about who was behind the fake prints, Electra said she just wanted to put that whole chapter behind her. At Il Giardino, Remy pushed Deacon Sharp to give him a job after seeing that he was overwhelmed and understaffed. Since Remy had worked in cafes ahead and was new in city, he told Deacon perhaps they could help each other out. Cleric was skeptical at first and sought evidence that Remy wasn't on exploration or parole. Remy claimed he wasn't, but Deacon also wanted to make sure he wasn't going to bolt on him. Cleric didn't want to spend time training Remy for nothing, but Remy assured Deacon that he planned on being in LA for a while. In fact, Remy inquired about a place to stay and got Cleric to agree that he could live in the apartment upstairs. Cleric said he'd hire Remy on a trial base, so Remy offered to work for room and board until Deacon decided whether he wanted to hire him for real. Cleric went on with the terms, but he advised Remy not to make him lament this. Remy snappily got to work drawing up tables and promised Deacon that he wouldn't let him down, so Deacon sounded pleased. Remy will prove he's bad news sooner or laterly, so we'll pass along updates on all the horror he'll cause. Justin Barber is summoned to Ridge Forrester's office. Deacon Sharp hires Remy Price. Also, Electra Forrester tells Ivy Forrester about her secret AI reproach. Ridge isn't going to let Carter Walton take Forrester Creations down from him. Meanwhile, Hope Logan and Carter continue making love. Electra is busy working when Ivy brings up how important Will Spencer likes her. Electra smiles and says she really likes Will. Ivy asks Electra if everything is okay. Electra says running into Remy reminded her of everything that happened back home. Cleric apologizes to guests and is offering free wine for the late refections. Remy is at the bar and mentions how crazy it is. Remy and Deacon talk about being so short-staffed. Deacon apologizes. Remy asks for a job. Ivy suggests Electra talk to someone, like a professional. Ivy wants Electra to heal from the trauma. Remy wants a job? Remy says Deacon seems overwhelmed. Cleric is sure Remy can handle it. Remy says he can try, he's worked in cafes before. Hope and Carter are out of breath. Hope demanded that. Carter says it doesn't change what they've done. Hope says Carter has the power to run Forrester Creations now. Ridge harangues to Brooke about Carter. Brooke asks what Ridge is going to do. Cleric corrects a garçon, she seems frazzled. Cleric goes back to Remy and says he lost 2 crucial workers. Remy needs a job, Cleric needs an hand, and Table 9 needs Mama's red sauce pronto. Remy is trying to move Deacon. Remy plans on staying for a while, he's not going to take off on Deacon. Ivy thinks it's a crazy coexistence that Remy was at Il Giardino the same time Electra was. Electra explains about the jewelry line, that's how he set up her. Electra cries as she tells Ivy about the filmland. Electra is surprised that Ivy hasn't seen the filmland. Electra grabs her phone to show Ivy the filmland. Ivy is confused, it's just Electra in pale blue lingerie. Not salty moreover. Electra says that was the original print. Also, Electra shows Ivy a print that shows her without any clothes. Ivy gasps. Electra swears that body doesn't belong to her. Electra says it's her face, but the body was AI generated. Carter is trying to reuse everything. Carter says they can still back out. Hope says effects at Forrester need to change. Carter asks if Hope's having alternate studies. She's not, Carter is the one who's risking everything. Carter says he'll do anything for Hope, but it's also for him. Carter wants Forrester to meet its eventuality. Hope says they still have time before they pass the point of no return. Nothing knows but us, Hope says. Brooke Logan says Ridge is too emotional. Ridge can't let this helical estual of control. It's formerly out of control, Ridge yells. The biggest treason, and he didn't indeed see it coming. Ridge brings up Hope. Ridge wants to defy Carter. But first, Ridge wants to get a counsel. Carter isn't getting down with this. Remy needs a place to live, too. Deacon thinks Remy is ambitious. Remy calls himself secure. Deacon asks his name as dishes can be heard crashing. Remy offers to work for room and board until he proves himself. Deacon warns Remy not to make him lament it. Ivy assures Electra that the images are fakes. Electra knows this, but the people who saw them didn't know that. Electra didn't indeed know what was passing, she just noticed people giving her weird aesthetics and brooding in the halls. Ivy says if people allowed. That was really her, also they aren't really her musketeers. Ivy says that people using AI for this purpose are affecting women far and wide. Electra feels helpless, there's nothing that can be done. Electra cries and explains that's why she jumped at the occasion to come to LA. Ivy heard about it, but no way looked at the prints. Electra is upset about a family reproach and explaining the images to Will. Ivy leverages Electra. Ridge thanks Brooke for her honesty. Brooke says it's wrong, of course she told him. Ridge is going to put an end to this. Electra continues to cry. Ivy asks if she ever said about who did it. Electra shakes her head no, and says she just wants to put that chapter behind her. At Il Giardino, Remy busses a table. Cleric watches hardly as Remy keeps moving. Remy tells Deacon he wouldn't let him down. Remy seems enough agitated. Deacon says, looks like you'll be staying in LA for a while, after all. Remy smiles. Carter and Hope continue talking about the situation at Forrester. Justin enters to hail Ridge and Brooke. Ridge explains the situation with the LLC papers. Justin asks why Carter isn't handling this. Because he's the problem. Ridge explains about Carter. That's why Justin is then, because Carter can't be trusted. Justin, look it over, see what's passing, and crush it. Carter can't get down with this.